Hi, my name is Abi-Maria.
Hi, my name is Saul.
Hi, my name is Wendell Holland.
My name is Brandon Donlin.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Gabler, the Alligabler, coming to you live on Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Survivor Squared. My name is Tony Squares. Today's guest is none other than Abi-Maria herself, the great Abi-Maria. It's a fantastic conversation. She has me laughing my butt off. We go through all her seasons, but also all the stuff happening on Survivor 50, how great Rizzo is playing, what Abi-Maria would have done if she was on the island and Coach was trying to run things over there. And she talks about how Emily is the child of Abi-Maria and another former Survivor contestant. It's an amazing comparison that I never would have thought of, but it fits absolutely perfectly after Abi-Maria lays it all out there. I'm excited also because I finally got my Survivor 50 buff in the mail. It's time to dive into Survivor 50, and if you're waiting for the special giveaway, the first ever giveaway on this show, wait till the end of the episode to find out how you can enter. I'm very excited to see how this all plays out, but now, no need to wait. It's time to talk to Abi-Maria. A two-time player of Survivor, breaking down season 50 with me. Please welcome in Miss Abi-Maria. Come on in, Abby. So happy you're here.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mr. Tony. I'm so glad to be here with you all today.
I'm pumped. I can't wait. There's so much going on in the world of Survivor in season 50, but I also want to talk to you about your two seasons and what went on there, because that's what started our relationship online. I made all those videos recapping the Survivor seasons, and when I got to the Philippines, you reached out to me and gave me some intel on stuff that happened during the Philippines that wasn't necessarily shown in the edit of the Philippines. For instance, I never knew that you tore your ACL in the marooning challenge of the Philippines. That's insane, Abby.
I know. I feel like every time I see a newcomer to the world of Survivor, I need to give them context, because the first season I was on 25 seasons ago, because I was on Survivor Philippines season 25, I got sort of like an Angelina right now for season 50, because she was called lazy. And I would say that the audience possibly thought that I was lazy on Philippines because, they saw me having a lot of excuses to not participate in a lot of the challenges, especially on Tentang, but they didn't hear the background conversations, and they didn't see me getting my ACL torn on the marooning. Right when I went for the firewood, I run my little heart out to show my tribe that I was a fit female, that I could, be regarded as a strong female, just like RC, and be exceptional on challenges. However, the cards that the universe dealt for me were like, no, you already are feisty enough. If you are on your prime, I think that you're not going to know what to do. I'm just joking. Anyways, yes. Day one on Survivor Philippines, and people don't really know that. They might see me like complaining about my knee, but the edit almost makes it look like I'm bluffing, or I'm like, I don't know. But yes, I did get a major injury on day one, and I made it to day 36.
Yeah, and not only that, like during those final days, you win an individual immunity challenge. You get the little advantage, you get the head start, or you get to skip the first round or whatever, but you still win an immunity challenge with a busted knee, Abby. Tell me about that day. How did that go down?
That was a game-changing moment for me. That was a blessing in disguise, honestly. That was such a lucky break for me. I watched your interview with Jeremy, and he talks about the element of luck in Survivor. Even though I worked really hard, anyways, we don't need to get into detail, but I worked really hard to get that advantage and to win that immunity. I feel that I got lucky because I was prepared for that moment. I was so focused, and they couldn't believe it. And I'm talking about the castaways, that I won that challenge with a busted up knee, because we didn't know what it was. Medical looked at it and they're like, if we have to medevac you to have an MRI done, we're going to have to medevac you. And I'm like, I'm not dying or bleeding. I mean, when you get the opportunity to play Survivor, like, better put you on a stretcher. Like, you better be dying or you're not getting out of there, right? So we didn't know what it was, so they didn't want to wrap my knee. So they were really like, "Oh yeah, she's just playing for the kid." Like, it was a thing. But no, I have proof. Like, I have the scars.
But it's such an accomplishment that you won, and I'm happy you watched the interview with Jeremy because I have a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you about that Jeremy brought up because it led perfectly to you. He had no idea that you were the next guest, and we were talking about you organically. It made me so happy. But the fact that not only that they didn't show the knee on your season, they kind of play that edit in a certain way and kind of showcase you in a certain way. And as you brought up Angelina on season 50, we're kind of getting that in season 50 as well. First off, there's 24 people in this season, so there's going to be some people that don't get as much time as others. But do you feel now that you've both played it and you still watch it, can you kind of see through the edit a little bit? Because sometimes we're shown a version of these people that isn't necessarily the truth. Can you see through that, or is it still a struggle for you?
Yeah, since I am a victim of the edit. How AKA Anonymous for the victims of the edit. Since I've been a victim of the edit, I am always ready to comfort the victims of the edit. So yes, I absolutely see through it. But it's the price you pay to be on such a hit television show as Survivor. I mean, you can't, you sign your life away. And I believe that a lot of the edits are made based on the winner. It's just like so many people, so many personalities to edit, that like I think that the storyline is based on who won Survivor. Denise and I, we were arch enemies, just like Aubrey and Genevieve this season. I think that we were like, so yeah, I am a victim of the edit, but I take it. I've I've gone through the work, so now I can gladly look at you and smile and look back and be like, yeah, man, I was. But then when I was going through it, I did not understand.
Yeah, I want to get to that. But first, I think the victim of the edit is a great T-shirt that you should take and sell. Make that merch, sell that on a website. I think people would buy it for sure. But when it comes to the edit, they definitely portray it as the winner first. And I get their thinking in that they have to tell a certain story. And that story ends with the champion. So you have to tell their story. But do you think if they told a different version of your story on the island, you would have had such an impact in the world of Survivor? Because it did bring you back for a second chance, which you had another amazing run on. So do you think everything worked out in the end?
I think that a different edit for me on Survivor would have been if I would have won Survivor, right? I think that the way it went then, when I look at that performance with a audience, with the audience, I think it's a perfect edit for me then. I don't think there is any other way that you could edit me. It wouldn't have been the season it was. It was so polarizing and so entertaining, with neutral eyes without having any element of emotion. Look at me, I'm such a cold bitch. I'm just joking. Just like separating myself from what happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
When that stuff happened, though, and they asked you to come back for second chance, because now we're getting season 50 as a full returnee season. You've now lived through season 25 aired. You've gone through all the publicity for that. It landed. The people reacted to it, yay or nay. But now you're coming back for season 31. And you come back and know, like, you're playing another game of Survivor. Yes, there's the TV element and the CBS and the portrayals, but you're playing a game here, and everyone who goes on that island wants to win this game. So now that we're season 50, I talked to Jeremy about how he changed his game to come on to second chance. Did you notice anything about your game and decided to play season 31 a different way? Or did you want to go there and say, I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go the only way I know how?
Of course, I wanted to go back and patch up my mistakes. I did say that on Second Chances, right? It's like one of the intros when they're introducing me as a returning player. Of course, I wanted to patch up my mistakes and undo the deed that I did back then, especially like that perception that people had that I couldn't work with other women because I had conflict with a lot of women on that season, and I didn't want that to be a part of my story because I am like girl strong, like power
Yeah.
to the girls. So I wish I could have undone that, and then I go back on Second Chances, and then like PG and I right away because of stupid bracelet that made no sense whatsoever. So yeah, I wanted to patch up my mistakes. But that is a mistake to want to go back and want to undo what you did. I think that when you go back on Survivor, you should go back with a clean heart, not thinking
Mm.
about any mistakes or any gameplay that you did, even if you played an unbelievable, amazing game and you won it, right? Like Dee, for example. I mean, her gameplay was amazing the first time she played. We didn't see, I loved seeing that part, like that side of Dee, like her feisty little Cuban Latina fire. I loved seeing that. And we didn't see that, on her first season. And I love that she had that in her.
I actually talked with Troy Zan. It was one of the first interviews I had on this, and he came back for Game Changers, and he talked about how he tried to change things too much, and it got him to the end, but it didn't get him any votes because he didn't get the stuff that he did the first time on One World, so it changed things completely for him. So I get that with what you're bringing up as well. You have to go with the flow, and I get that, and I think there are some players, especially on season 50, when there are so many sharks in the water, there are some players that are definitely going with the flow on that end, but at the same time, there are some players to me that are sticking out in a good way with games, things that they've added to their games. For instance, Jonathan has come out onto this island and he's known as the challenge beast. He's built like he's a painting, essentially, a walking sculpture. But at the same time, he's come out here and decided to play things strategically, to push Dee's buttons and make her go crazy on the island. He knew what he was doing. Did that surprise you out of him, or has anyone else surprised you with the updates to their gameplay?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all, especially because I'm very active in the whole Survivor world. And I saw that he was hanging out with Boston Rob before he went on 50. So it looks very much like he got that from the Survivor Boston Rob book. But I don't know. He looks like a sculpture to me. He looks more like a ogre. I don't know. He gives me ogre vibes. Like, I don't. Did you see the size of that man's foot? I was like, what the heck is that? Like, ogre foot. I mean, did you see his ears? I was like, oh my. I don't know. Sorry. Like, he does not give me. He does not give me a perfect Greek sculpture at all. No.
It's funny. I'm just thinking about this now. It's definitely the difference in like the male gaze and the female gaze. Because for me, I see Jonathan and I'm like, that's what I want to be. I go to the gym every day. I lift weights. I try to get bigger. Like Jonathan's got that body. I was like, yes, this is what I want. But at the same time, you like females might be looking at that going like, what is that? I'm like, there's so much there.
Like, oh my God, what? Like, no. It's like, super intimidating.
Okay, speaking of intimidating, this is a perfect segue. Last night's episode was very much run by Coach and what Coach was trying to do on that island. He ran the vote on Dee and then Tiffany being the split vote. He very much was a demonstrative force on that island. He had a bunch of funny moments with the haikus and people like Emily Flippen looking at camera going like, what is he talking about? They're playing into the comedy of Coach, but at the same time, he is there trying to run things on this island. And that has happened to you in your seasons too. People, especially men, have come on there and tried to run things on there. And you've stood your ground and go, I'm going to do what I want to do. So how would have reacted to Coach on that island running that stuff? Like, do you think you would have combated him a little bit? Were you surprised that no one else stepped up to him?
That's probably why they didn't put me on 50, because they know that would have been the battle. The battle. It would have been the Brazilian dragon against the killer of their life. What does he call himself again? The dragon
Dragon
slayer.
Slayer.
The Dragon's Lair. I think that CBS wasn't ready for the battle. That's why they ghosted me. I mean, there is no way. I was like, okay, because he was trying to pregame with me. He was trying to pregame with everybody, right? Like
Yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
tried, which is so annoying because it never works out and it gives you so much anxiety, even like anyway, so he was like, "Did you get the call?" I'm like, nah. He was so annoying, but I do love him. He's a good man outside of the game. He has the ego the size of a dragon's den, but it was like I think that the world, maybe they'll put us on the Traitors together. Imagine. I do know that they didn't put me on 50 because they know I deserve to be in a castle. That's it.
I love.
It would have been I would have slayed that dragon slayer. for
It's
sure.
I was surprised with all these huge personalities on that island. Like, yes, some people are more meek players, but and they want to keep their head underwater. I get that. But there are some big personalities on that island, and I'm surprised no one stepped up to coach just to say anything. I mean, Dee tried. Dee tried to vote coach out and get people on her side. It ended up not working. But we saw a few weeks ago where Joe Hunter and Rick Devens had a big fight because they were at each other's throats, and no one stepped up to coach in this. And I'm wondering if they're letting coach sort of sail himself out there and find out when he turns around there's no one behind him and then he gets cut at the knees. I'm wondering if that's a tactic by everybody, but at the same time, I wanted that foil. I wanted that Abi-Maria on that island to get in front of him and say, hold on, this is not what we're doing here. Another Abi-Maria trait, and this one comes from Jeremy. He brought up the fact that he wants to see you on every season of Survivor. He loves Abi-Maria's gameplay because when Abi-Maria is on that island, if you tell Abi-Maria a secret, she will go off and use that secret to her advantage, whether she tells it to someone or whether she uses it and tries to get more information out from people. And we're kind of seeing a not so great version of that tactic out of Emily Flippen, where every single person that tells Emily Flippen a secret, and it happened last night where Dee told Emily about Rizzo's idol. Emily goes to Rizzo a few days later and says, hey, about your idol, and suddenly Rizzo's like, what just happened? Do you watch Emily Flippen and go, I think she's trying to do something here and it's just not working out the way she wants it to? Or do you watch Emily and go, what the F is she doing?
I love Emily. I think that her personality is in her last name. Right? I think that I always joke that she gives me if Cass and Abby had a baby.
Yeah?
Don't you see that? Don't you see
Yeah?
that, like, look wise and personality wise? She's a finance analyzer, right? So she's like
Yeah.
analytical but chaotic in a way. So
Absolutely.
I think that there is a formula to that madness. I think
Hmm.
that she has been working on some very interesting models, and I think that she is putting the Flippin to her last name.
Do you enjoy watching her on a season like this, or would you rather someone that played a little bit more close to the vest?
I love it. I love watching somebody playing like she's playing. I mean, if everybody is playing the same, it just becomes so boring. So she's giving us a lot of spice. She's giving us a lot of pepper. Yeah.
So, speaking of that, has anyone else on this season, maybe they've already been voted off, maybe they're still on the island, has anyone else on this season surprised you with their appearance on season 50 and like come out of their shell a little bit, played a little bit differently? Because I have one in particular, but especially all these new era people playing for the second time, for the first time here, we're seeing a new flavor of them. Has anyone stepped up and been like, I love watching them again?
I think Ozzy. I think Ozzy is giving us a different gameplay that he has given us in the past. So I'm very impressed by how humble he's playing. Ozzy used to have a huge personality back in the day. I mean, I remember watching Ozzy when I immigrated here, and watching him, Sandra, Poverty, and like dreaming about being on the show. I remember that the show came out right when I immigrated, and then Lost was on TV as well. So I remember watching Lost and Survivor and learning English, going to ESL, English as a second language, and watching them. And I remember Ozzy fishing sharks with his bare hands. I mean, he's still super powerful and like, whoa, like who is this Mowgli? Like creature, survivor player person. But yeah, he looks more like a real human right now watching, and I love seeing a more like humanized Ozzy.
When he played those first few seasons, especially in South Pacific, like he has kind of a bravado about him that no one can beat him in any challenge whatsoever, and that it's a very young mindset. And now he is out here, years older, decades older, and he is much more focused and mature. And he says, I'm Oscar this time, I'm not Ozzy. Like he is playing with a strategic mind, linking up with Suri, linking up with Rizzo, the youngest kid on the island, and he's definitely got a different flavor to his game here. I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing this version of Ozzy. It's fantastic to watch. And it brings me to the guy that impressed me the most so far this season because it is Rizzo. The fact that
Oh,
Rizzo
Rizzo.
played on season 49 and played his version of his game where he was the social guy, he's playing around with the idol, he links up with the Power Alliance like he was never really in trouble. And now we flash forward to 50 where no one knows who he is. We've seen this before with a Russell Hands, and people are scared to play with that Russell again. They're worried that Rizzo could be this guy. We don't know who he is. And yet he still is in bed with Suri and Ozzy, two of the legends of the game. He also now is in bed with Coach and Jonathan and Joe. Like everyone, he was in bed with D. Like everyone wants to work with this kid, this child. And the biggest, I guess, green flag to me was when Coach is having his little moment and he's flipping out that people are telling Christian about the vote. Who do they go to calm Coach down? It's the youngest kid on the island in Rizzo. They say, Rizzo, go talk to Coach. He's like, I got this. Don't worry. And he comes up with some great lines. We don't slay dragons. We slay dragons at tribal, not at camp. Like, Rizzo
He's
is
cinema. He's cinema.
He's cinema. He is. And you watch season 49, you're watching season 50. Have you been impressed with this kid that they can still find people that are, again, are so new to this game and yet still are making their mark on the biggest season that Survivor's ever had? Have you been impressed with Rizzo?
Yes, I'm so impressed with Rizzo's game. I think that first he made it to Final Four, 49, Survivor 49, and he lost due to fire making, right? I mean, besides giving us a great season, yes, I was very impressed, and I was even more impressed by, was it 2 episodes ago that he woke up with Charlie watching him sleeping on the boat. So okay, so when okay, help me here. Did he or did he not vote for his best friend in the game? Did he use that for his advantage? Or did he know that Charlie was gonna get like ticked off by that? Because I think that if he used that as a strategy to get Charlie ticked off, genius. He played his psychology like he played how I would have played. Like I would have done that. 100%. That is like an absolutely 10 out of 10 survivor strategy. Like that was brilliant.
Well, that's the thing that we're learning now as these people slowly get eliminated and we get the exit interviews and we get pieces of more information of what was going on. Dee talked about in her exit interviews that her and Rizzo were accused by Charlie of FaceTiming beforehand and having a little bit of a pregame beforehand. And Dee brought that up. Dee took accountability for that and said, yes, they did talk beforehand. It was set up by Sophie Bellardi, another person on season 49. But Dee said that Rizzo lied to her in that FaceTime, saying he came in like fifth place and Savannah came in fourth place because Savannah and Rizzo knew they were coming in with targets on their back, having no one know who they were. So they made up this fake story that they were going to run with on the islands of Fiji. But what happened was someone leaked to the 24 castmates that Savannah won, Rizzo came in fourth. So their story was blown up before they even got on the island.
We're living in technology days.
Exactly. So what I think happened, it may have been gameplay by Rizzo to fake Charlie out there. What I believe happened is Rizzo kind of got caught in a lie because they came to the 50 thing. All right, I'm going to tell this story about 49, and now everyone knows 49, so which version do I tell them? Because what Rizzo told them was a lie. He did not cheat on his best friend and not vote for them or whatever, but I think he might have just kind of gotten messed up in what version he's supposed to live. Yeah, but either way, it worked out for him. And the fact that he took out someone like Charlie and survived that version of that vote, it's another testament to Rizzo's gameplay. I love the kid. I really do.
Oh, yeah, he's a few steps ahead at all times, and that's how you should play Survivor. Like when I played with Jeremy, since you just had him, like I remember playing with him and really appreciating how he was open to like having a conversation and being so honest about it. Like when we
Hmm.
would come, like when the Witches Coven Alliance came up to him, which was who me, Callie, Sierra, and Cass, we were trying to get him to work with us, and
Yeah.
he was open to it. He was so diplomatic. He was so open to having that social game. However, his explanation to me was always like, but I need Joe. He's good for my game. Every
Hmm.
time we're trying to have him break, a bond with somebody, I want to work with you. Let's work together. Let's do this. But I need Fish back. He's good for this. He always explained himself. It's almost like I can't be mad at this guy. Like he's so cordial,
Uh-huh.
charismatic. And then
Uh-huh.
out there, you are in like, I don't know, you're crazy because you're so hungry, you're so tired, like you're so in survival mode that your EQ, your emotional intelligence
Mhm.
goes out the window. And he was able to keep that.
The other thing he explained that I want to talk to you about because we brought you up as you're his number one pick on someone who he would want to see go on Traitors from the world of Survivor. I would love to see that too. You obviously would love to be in that castle, but he did bring up that Traitors is so taxing stress-wise because the whole day is a tribal council. The whole entire day, you're trying to defend, am I a traitor? Am I not a traitor? Am I a faithful? You're having all these conversations and trying to either pin it on somebody or keep the deflection off of you. Do you think you would thrive in that environment of constantly like trying to figure out who was a traitor, who was not a traitor, or if you were a traitor yourself, hiding that version of you? Do you yearn for that gameplay?
I think I would thrive not having to deal with the elements, not having to sleep in the rain, not having to what? Eat snails. I was eating snails, okay? Not having to use Coconut Grove. If you know, you know. Hashtag, all right? Like, shit in the ocean, who wants that? Give me a toilet in a castle, all right? That's it. Kidding me? I'll do whatever you need me to do, Alan. Cunnin. I'll bring my cat. My cat will play with Lala. It will be Pinky and Lala's world. Whatever. But yes, what do you think? Yes, I would want to be in a castle as a Brazilian dragon witch, woven alliance member. Yes, hello, slapping housewives left and right. I don't know, Atlanta, Beverly Hills, Orange County. Hello, Brazilian in the house.
That was the
That's it.
perfect promo. That was the perfect promo. That's your audition tape right there. We're going to clip that. We're going to send
Let's
that in over
go.
to Scotland, and that's all they're going to need.
Get me on the show.
Oh man, that's perfect. That's
Jesus.
fantastic. I would love to see
Let's burn
Abby
some down
Maria.
that castle on the stake like
Absolutely.
witches do.
I'd love to see it. I yearn to see it. I hope it happens in the future. But Abby, I've taken up far too much of your time talking about Survivor 50, talking about your time in the 2 seasons that you had, the Philippines and Cambodia. It's been a blast to talk to you here, Abby Maria, and so much. I'm so happy that you are so happy to talk about your time on Survivor because it was such a moment for you, and I'm so happy you still give back to the Survivor community, and thank you for coming on the show.
Hello.
uh,
Iconic. And I'm making you laugh, and I love that.
That is it for this episode of Survivor Squared. We'll be back later this week. Me and Bailey will be breaking down the next episode of Survivor Season 50. It could be the one where Coach finally gets his comeuppance. Who knows? And then next week we will have another guest to break down Season 50. Thank you, Abby Maria. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we shall see you next week. Want to practice puzzles before going on Survivor? Don't worry, Survivor Squared has got you. Happy to say we are partnering with Puzzling Design, who creates custom puzzles inspired by competition reality shows, including Survivor. They make replicas, remix, fully original puzzle designs, and their work combines over a decade of engineering expertise with 3D printing, woodworking, and vinyl graphics to turn your specific vision into a memorable competitive experience. And here at Survivor Squared, we are giving away our very own Survivor Squared themed slide puzzle. The way you can enter is do 2 things. Number 1, comment on the episode you are watching right now, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you are. Leave a comment and try to write something more than just hello. Make it engaging. Have a conversation. And number 2, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Even if you're listening to this podcast on an audio-only platform, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's how I'm going to pick who the winner is. And we will be drawing the winner on our Season 50 finale podcast. That's when we will break down who wins this show, who wins this Survivor slide puzzle, and send it directly to you. But excited to do our first giveaway on the Survivor Squared podcast. Leave us a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you could be getting your very own slide puzzle. But now, back to the show.